Hello, welcome to another episode of Lessons for Life. Let's meet each other every week and build a community of support for one another in order to help us cope with the many challenges in life and also to help us to reinvent and restructure our lives to live our best lives. Challenges are a common feature in everyone's life. Today, I wish to speak about challenges in the workplace because someone had requested that I speak about this. I had been through many challenges in the workplace, and the challenge that I wish to speak about today or share about today may resonate with you right now. What is this challenge? I faced it some time ago, not once, but a number of times, and it never quite went away, no matter how much I wished it away. So eventually I decided that I have to find a way to make it not matter anymore. So I essentially had to develop a way to wrap my mind around it so that emotionally I was totally unperturbed. And that was indeed the moment at which I found freedom from this kind of challenge. Okay, what was the challenge? The challenge was that despite being very good at what I do, I am a teacher, a biology teacher. Despite being very, very good at what I do and being passionate about it and being true to my key stakeholders, my students and parents, I was often not promoted, not appreciated, and also I had colleagues who were backstabbing, who were ganging up against me, who gossiped about me. Oh, it is so painful when you have not learned to accept it as a common feature in the workplace, and when you have not learned how to regard it, how to process it in a manner such that you become indifferent to it. Yes, the key word is indifferent. Despite being very good, I always thought, why is this happening to me despite being really good at my job? Why am I not getting promoted? Why am I not getting rewarded? Why am I not getting that increment? And quite to the contrary, my superiors or people who were responsible for my appraisal, my performance appraisal, were punitive in the way they assessed my performance, and that is easier to handle once you find the real reason why you're doing the job. Okay, it's not so much to be validated by superiors or whoever else is in charge. It could be a business owner. Yeah, I worked in both the public system and the private system, and in the public system your superiors are actually also employees, but in the private system your superiors are business owners, right? So from both angles I was not only not appreciated, but there were signs that seemed to punish me. There were signs of being punished for trying to work really hard, to be true to my profession, and to be passionate, and to be true to my stakeholders, try and give my best towards the outcome in terms of student performance and parent satisfaction. Time and again, this happened in my life. But what was really difficult was the gossips, the whispers that start hushing up immediately when you walk into the staff room after a session in the classroom. All of that was really painful. The rolling of the eyes that you barely catch through the corner of your eyes when people think that you can't see them. All of that is really very difficult to cope with when you're working. And honestly, there is no solution to this. And initially, me being me, I'm a person who has always been someone who, in a situation that seems to be punitive, I look at the person in the mirror and I question myself. I ask myself, what is it that I can learn? How can I be better? Or am I somehow responsible for the situation that I'm facing? And I went through many rounds of refinement. So these challenges, even though it was difficult both for my mind and my emotions, but I benefited from this happening time and again. But eventually, when it continued to happen, I began to realize that I have done a lot of refinement already, and if this still coming at me, then I have to find a different mechanism of coping instead of continuing to take blame or even responsibility in this matter, right? I used to blame myself. From a state of blaming myself, I went to taking responsibility, where I put myself through many cycles of refinement. But when these gossipers, who were so-called colleagues, did not stop, I had to then just reconcile at accepting that this will go on no matter what, and the best thing to do is not to become perturbed by it while continuing to learn and grow across all the 5 dimensions of my psyche. So I had to learn how to be indifferent. So the key word here is to be indifferent. So to become indifferent, you have to know yourself, as I've mentioned in many presentations before this. You have to know yourself, and you have to know what are the ideal character qualities, personality traits, values. Values are a type of beliefs, and also your mindset. So essentially, your values, which are a type of beliefs, form your mindset, because mindset is a set of beliefs. Okay, so your values, your beliefs have to consolidate into a rock solid mindset, and this mindset has to be rooted in universal principles, as I've mentioned to you before. And with this mindset, okay, which is closely grounded, very tightly grounded, very solidly grounded in universal principles, you now know that you are all right. You have no reason to blame yourself. And if these situations keep showing up, it is only because you need to learn how to be indifferent to these situations. You need to be confident, very self-assured that you are all right, because everything that you do, everything that you believe in, yeah, the way you think, and the way you feel, which comes across as attitude to others, is grounded in universal principles. So it is solidly rooted in rock solid self-esteem. So you develop self-esteem when you know that your beliefs or your thoughts, your emotions, which is exhibited or seen by others as attitude, your words and your actions are all solidly rooted in universal principles. So you have a rock solid self-esteem, yeah, you don't doubt yourself anymore, then you can be indifferent. So the key is when you're faced with a difficult social environment, either in the family front or at work, you need to first off you need to learn how to be indifferent. Next, you need to stop expecting validation in terms of verbal praises or other less tangible nuances like non-verbal insinuations that exist around you. Yeah, you need to make sure that all this does not matter. They do not control how well you do your job. You do your job really well because that's who you are. The validation, the rewards, or the punishments around you does not in any way determine how well you do your job. It was when I learned to be indifferent to this rewards or punishment system that exists everywhere, not only at the workplace, then I learned how to be really indifferent and let my performance be at the peak, because it came from a place of knowing that this is who I am. Whatever I do it at the best level of my ability, my competence, because this is who I am. This is my character, and I am always true to the key stakeholders that matter to me, who are people whose lives are directly impacted by the work I do. So in my profession as a teacher, I believe the people who matter the most are my students and the parents. Yeah, so I always gave my best regardless of the rewards, and especially regardless of the punishment. People sometimes just don't like being around highly competent and ethical high performers who are also humble, because this somehow reminds them of their own inadequacies. So if you're facing a similar situation at work, remember, learn to be indifferent. And how to learn to be indifferent is exactly what I covered in this video. Hope you have a joyous work life which is not in any way affected by the rewards or punishment built into your work arrangement. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, keep watching, because there will be one video like this released every week. Thank you and bye-bye. Have a great week ahead.